Hello everyone. Welcome to the ECFS1001 Early Childhood Educators Workshop. We are happy that you are here with us. We are the members of Group J, and at this time, please allow me to introduce the members of this group. We have with us Mr. Bradley St. Bernard from Trinidad, Mr. Davanand Subnaik, also from Trinidad, Miss Shanique Bailey-Wright from Jamaica, Miss Verginia Serieux from St. Lucia, and I am Mrs. Sharalyn Bascombe-Haynes from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today, we will be looking at the history and current trends in early childhood education. And to be more specific, we will be looking at the history of the origin of early childhood education within the Caribbean. We will be stating some ways in which early childhood education has evolved within the Caribbean within the last 10 years, that is. We will be talking a little about Jerome Bruner's development theory and Uri Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. We will be identifying 4 benefits of having an early childhood education center or school within the community. And we will be talking a little about one Caribbean country that has been promoting and investing in early childhood education here in the Caribbean. As I said before, we are truly happy that you are here with us today. We hope that as you follow along with us, that this presentation proves to be very interesting and also very informative, and that by the end of it, you would have learned something new. So stay with us as we head into our presentations at this time.
Subnaik, and I will be informing you about the origins of early childhood education in the Caribbean. Early childhood education goes back to the late 1700s. In St. Kitts and Nevis, churches established schools for children 3 to 8 years old. There are 3 phases in early childhood programming in the Caribbean, which has been acquainted to 1997. Phase 1 was from the post-war period to 1969. This is when women were given the window to the workforce, as a result making the demand for child care services prominent away from home. Prior to 1967, formal childcare givers were unqualified. Phase 2 occurred in the 1970s. In 1967, when UNICEF spotlighted the needs of a young child, this impacted the Caribbean region to educate and generate programs on the social and economic conditions of children's development in countries. In 1979, the International Year of the Child marked an historic occasion for Trinidad and Tobago and UNICEF. In pledging to promote the welfare of children, Phase 3 was in the late 1980s to the early 1990s, where most Caribbean countries expanded in the delivery of early childhood programs and services. A Caribbean Plan of Action for Early Childhood Care, Education, and Development was developed for a 5-year period, 1997 to 2002. In the Caribbean region, state members were developing and implementing early childhood programs and country action plans across countries. There has been a progression in early childhood programming regardless of varying levels of development across countries. According to the Education for All Global Monitoring Report 2007, Latin American and the Caribbean region was leading in the development of preschool education. In the new millennium, additional advances in early childhood programming in the Caribbean included specialized training programs, learning outcome goals, improvement of the quality through a legal regulatory framework for centers, a comprehensive multi-sectoral approach to development, and the acknowledgement of parenting.
Hi, my name is Bradley St. Bernard, and I'm presenting on the evolution of ECE in the Caribbean over the last 10 years. First point I'll touch on is technology. Technology has advanced greatly over the last 10 years, and we are now seeing a greater incorporation of these devices in the classroom. 10 years ago, there wouldn't be as much interaction with devices in the classroom, maybe just a computer the teacher has, or something along those lines. Now we're seeing things more like smart boards placed in classrooms and iPads placed on desks, or students bringing their iPads or as a staple necessity instead of books. It will allow for more diversity and inclusion in the classroom. So a smart board allows for teachers to interact with students through a game, through a smart board into the iPad, allowing for a more complicated and diverse way of learning. This became especially important through COVID, where e-learning was the mainstay. The next thing I'll talk about is government aid. The government, for example, in Barbuda and Antigua, the government has gone through the UNICEF program, allowing for certain benefits to reach children who couldn't get before, such as social protection systems to improve the quality of life of children in underdeveloped communities or dangerous situations, or helping families to strengthen their care system, allowing them to provide a better level of care for their children. Another thing they did was give financial support by building houses and such to allow children to have a better learning environment as a whole. The next thing I'll talk about is the advancement of early childhood practitioners education. This will allow for updated knowledge and understanding of the best trends and the best ways, methods to teach children during a certain time frame, like the 1 to 3 time frame. It will give them a better understanding of the level of education and level of education needed for understanding the particular subject. So if the teachers better organized, better learned, better educated, the children will obviously show that through their teachings. They will obviously learn better, more efficiently, more accurately. There will be less misunderstandings, and to allow them to deal with more diverse groups of children, like children with disabilities and stuff like that. The way that it goes about this is using workshops and teaching classes for teachers.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, my esteemed colleagues. So today we're going to discuss Jerome Brenner's and Yuri Branford Brenner's impact on teaching methods. Collectively, they both encourage relationships between parents and teachers, also encourage children to be more actively involved in their learning, and lastly, encouraged scaffolding. Now let's take a look at the individualization of each theory. Jerome Brenner's Culture of Education stated that there are 3 types of knowledge acquisition. He also indicated precise chronological time periods for the beginning and conclusion of developmental stages, identified that scaffolding is important in the teacher-student relationship, and lastly, emphasized the importance of language in development. Looking over at Yuri Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, we can say that there is a comprehensive strategy that takes into account all the systems that include children and their family, which is part of the appropriately dynamic nurture of genuine family connections by Hayes and O'Toole, 2017. Students create their own knowledge, and a teacher's job is to promote learning. Moreover, according to Hayes and O'Toole, 2017, the ecological systems theory offers a comprehensive strategy that takes into account all the systems that children and their family are a part of the appropriately dynamic nurture and genuine family of connections. Pat 2013 examines the applicability of Bronfenbrenner's theory to the growth of immigrant children. They contend that cultural variations are likely to influence how immigrant children experience various ecological systems. The delivery of social work services to these children can be strengthened with a better understanding of their ecological context.
Hello everyone, my name is Shanique Bailey-Wright, and today in this short video I'll be talking to you about 4 benefits to be derived by parents, the community, and other stakeholders in having an early childhood center in the community. There are numerous advantages in having an early childhood center in your community. Solving daycare problem, my first point. When parents have to leave their kids at home while they go to work, they can feel secure knowing that their kids are properly taken care of. In today's society, both parents work, so there is a need for an early childhood center. Parents leaving their child at an early childhood center, having the child learning at the same time while being taken care of, this is an advantage. The economic. The establishment of an early childhood center in your community has future financial economic advantages because it creates many jobs. Jobs like teachers, teachers' assistants, caregivers, janitors, cooks, gardeners. It even eases the pressure of parents having to pay bus fare to take their children to school and home. Building relationship and the community. I always hear my grandmother saying this old proverbs. It takes a village to raise a child. This still stands today, in my opinion, and I think it should for you too. Today, as it was yesterday, community members can contribute to the uplifting of young children by participating in programs like fundraising, adopt a class, community helpers, and literacy program. Academic, my final point. One of the main parties who stand to gain from an early childhood center in the community are our kids. In addition to helping children develop their cognitive, social, emotional, fine, and gross motor skill, enrolling in an early childhood program have positive effect on student academic performance throughout their lives. Children who participate in early childhood programs are more likely to graduate from high school, academically better equipped for higher grade. Fewer students has to repeat. And even the National Educational Association stated that greater income level in the workforce. Today, these are my few points. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are encouraged and I hope it enlightens you.
Hi, I'm Zelena Mahaber, and did you know that other than Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica is another Caribbean country that is presently promoting and investing in the development of early childhood education? Based off of the findings of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, reports have shown room for improvement. As such, Jamaica is now taking their time to refocus on this sector. They are now examining all the early childhood education centers across Jamaica to ensure that all the standards are being met. They also seek to engage in many different activities to improve this year, such as community flex and professional development of early childhood practitioners. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of children were deprived of learning. Due to the lack of electronic devices, and learning from home was difficult for many. As such, Jamaica has been looking at new avenues to upgrade their level of early childhood education. 5 strategies to address the effects the pandemic had on the education of students in early childhood education are: 1. Planning a routine for a certain amount of students to come out on a certain day to ensure learning is still taking place. 2. Introduce shorter classes to ensure everyone gets a chance to come into school and learn. 3. Stay in touch with children's education facility, that way parents and teachers work hand in hand to ensure each child is developing healthy. 4. Introduce online learning from now. so that kids get familiar with online classes. 5. Have schools provide online classes showing students how to use a device and learn through technology from a young age, as the ages 2 to 5 are the most important stages where children's brain pick up on everything quickly. 3 emerging trends in early childhood education that is taking place in the Caribbean are: 1. Increased recognition of the importance of early childhood education. This helps to raise awareness on the importance of early literacy that helps prepare children for basic education. 2. Focusing on physical fitness in children. This helps to keep them active and can be used for kids to experience breaks and improve health. 3. Increased demand for a higher level of education in teachers to ensure parents that the education of their young ones are taken seriously. Thank you, and I hope that you learned what Jamaica is currently doing to promote early childhood education.
And with that, we have come to the end of our presentations. We thank you for being here with us, and we do hope that the information presented may have been of benefit to you. Please do take care of yourselves. Goodbye.